Well, we're back. What is up, guys? Python here, back with another video, and I couldn't stay away for too long, honestly, and I probably overreacted a bit in that reaction video that I did towards the end, but in the moment, I honestly don't regret what I say because it is what it is. It's how I felt. So now we're going to be doing a lot of off-season content. I have a couple video ideas lined up for you guys, and also a big project has been in the works with one of my good friends, which we will reveal probably at some point this month. If not early July, we will reveal what's going on there. But today I figured let's go ahead and do a season recap for the New York Rangers, and with this we're just going to be talking about, you know, how players did, what went wrong, how the Rangers can improve going into next season. Before we do any of that, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially Ranger fans. We cover the Rangers here quite frequently on the channel, even though they cause me so much stress. But let's just do this. So we got the players' stats for the year. So we're going to talk about this for the regular season and the playoffs. So regular season, Artemi Panarin led the way in points with 96, 22 goals, 74 assists. Not much else to say. Close to 100 points on his end. He ended up being out towards the end of the season due to one, rest, and also injury, and then he also missed some time. I believe it was that game against the Coyotes earlier in the season where he got a little banged up and he missed a game or two after that. So he could have got 100 points, but at the end of the day, not going to complain too much there with Panarin. Mika Zibanejad, point per game player, 81 points in 81 games. Not going to complain. He got off to a bit of a slow start. He's someone that could have gotten the 90-point range had he started off a lot stronger. Overall, though, very happy with Mika Zibanejad's performance this season, as well as I really do like that, even though part of it's cut off, that face-off percentage being over 50%. Really do like that a lot. Huge step forward from Mika Zibanejad, and he just continues to get better. Chris Kreider, as we know, 52 goals this season, 77 points, and he was part of the reason the power play clicked as much as it did. Definitely a great season from Chris Kreider, and will he get to see next season? We will wait and see. No pun intended there. But Adam Fox, 74 points in 78 games played. With Fox, it's a bit weird, though. With Fox, it's a bit weird because there were times where he looked piss poor defensively, and it was kind of after he suffered that injury where it was like, what's going on here with Adam Fox? There's got to be something lingering, and from the exit meetings so far, I'm not too sure if there was any injuries revealed or not with him, but Adam Fox, overall, I think that he will have a much improved season defensively, but in the playoffs, he looked really good, so it is what it is there. Ryan Stroll, we know the story there. Open net misses nonstop, and I think that the Rangers need to look elsewhere at the 2C spot, which we'll get to in a bit as well with Andrew Copp. But 54 points in 74 games played. How much of that is Panarin? You have to question how much of that is Panarin. Jacob Trouba, 39 points in 81 games played. He did get 11 goals, but the Rangers, if they can find a way to move this contract this offseason, they obviously have to do it. Will they be able to? Probably not, with the no trade clause and everything. But overall, Jacob Trouba's season was, I'd say this was probably his best season as a Ranger, but $8 million, hell no. Hell no. Barclay Goodrow, pretty much the production you expected, 33 points in 79 games. Loved Barclay Goodrow's play, career high in goals for him, and maybe a career high in assists, maybe in points. But regardless, Barclay Goodrow, really great season. Loved having him here, and, well, glad I did because he's here for another 5 years after this now. And he slid in on the penalty kill so well. Barclay Goodrow is great, and yeah, we'll see what his role is next year. I expect him to get more of a fourth-line role, but we'll wait and see. Alexis Lafreniere, 31 points in 79 games played. A bit of a yikes there because from your number 1 overall pick, who looked really, really good at the end of the 2021 season. You were thinking he would maybe carry that going into the season. He got off to a pretty slow start, but he definitely did pick up his play towards the season, and in the postseason, of course, he was a completely different player. He was an animal, and I expect him to get a bigger role next season, and I think that Lafreniere is going to take a huge step forward next year, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Phil Peedle, 22 points in 67 games played. I'm feeling weird about Heedle. Feeling weird. Face-off percentage, 43%. Disgusting. Abysmal. Trash. But obviously in the playoffs, he was really good. I think that he will be fine as the number 3 center next year. If they want to look to put him on the wing, I'm content with that. But I think that Heedle next year, not just because it's a contract year, I think that next year, if he doesn't reach the 40-point range, you got to have discussions about moving him, because how long are we going to wait around for Phil Peedle to be a 40 to 50-point guy? Because, yeah, he has not been that. Keandre Miller, 20 points in 82 games played. Really, really like the play of his. Power play points, how many did he have? He only had 1 power play point. I'd like to see him get a bit more power play time. I'd like to see it over Jacob Trouba next year, him quarterback in that second power play. Keandre Miller, there were times at the beginning of the season it looked like he deserved a demotion to Hartford, but as the season progressed, he definitely looked better and better, and this playoffs, he was an absolute animal. Really loved Keandre Miller's play. So, not much else to say there. I think that he is a star in the makings. Andrew Copp, 16 games played with us, of course, 18 points, 8 goals, 10 assists. Here's the thing with Copp. How much of that is Panarin? We have to have that question, too, like we did with Ryan Strome. How much of that is Panarin? Because are we going to keep Andrew Copp around as our number 2C, as potentially another product of Panarin, and then we shoot ourselves in the foot again with this sort of thing? Or are we going to say, hey, Andrew Copp is legit, and he's only going to get better. Let's keep him around. To me, I personally think the Rangers need to look elsewhere. I liked Andrew Copp. I loved him here. But to me, I don't want him making $5 to $5.5 million, maybe even north of that, to maybe be a second-line center. But that's a big maybe, because he might end up on the wing, or he might end up on the third line. And to me, I am not paying Andrew Copp that much money to be a third-line center. That is just my opinion on that. But I did like Andrew Copp here. I wish he did a bit more in the playoffs. So, Capo Caco, we got a lot there. 7 goals, 11 assists for 18 points in 43 games. Injuries were a problem, but what are we going to do here? He got scratched in Game 6. What's going to go on here? In my opinion, I think he played his last game as a Ranger, and I think the Rangers are going to use him as potentially a main piece in a trade to get a legit second-line center, which we'll talk about in a separate video. But if we sign a free agent, maybe Kakko sticks around, but he's another one like Heedle. How long are we going to wait around for this guy? And there's rumors of teams maybe willing to offer sheet this offseason. I really don't know what's going to go on with Kakko this offseason, but I don't think that he's going to be back next season. I really don't think so. And whether you like it or not, that's up to you. To me personally, I think that if an upgrade is there, you got to do it. Because if teams are interested right now, why wait for potentially his trade value to go down even more? And will he maybe thrive elsewhere? Yeah, maybe a change of scenery is better for him, but we'll have to wait and see there. It's going to be an interesting offseason with Kakko. Troy Hunt played way too many games. 76 games, 6 goals, 11 assists for 17 points. He got way too much playing time. He got way too much playtime. He should not have been on the second line as much as he was. He was trash. And they found the wrong, or they thought they found a diamond in the rough there, but wrong guy from Arizona, because the diamond in the rough went to Toronto and Michael Bunting. Granted, is that because of Marner and Matthews? Who knows there, but I really don't care enough about the Leafs. Sorry, Leafs fans, if any Leaf fans are watching this by any chance, but I really do not care. But Dryden Hunt, he'll be the 13th, 14th forward next year because he's under contract. But if he's in the everyday lineup again next year, God help us. God help us. Ryan Lindgren, 4 goals, 11 assists, 15 points in 78 games. Ryan Lindgren, really great defenseman, and he played through a tough injury in the playoffs, and I really liked his play. I think he needs an A on his sweater next year, and I'd slap that on him and remove it from Trouba in a heartbeat. Will Ryan Lindgren get moved just because he's one of the few contracts that doesn't have a no-trade clause? That's something that scares me, I won't lie, but to me, I really don't think you move him. I really don't think you move him, and I think it would be a huge mistake. Huge mistake. You got to try to keep him around, in my opinion. Frank Vatrano, 22 games played with us, 8 goals, 5 assists, 13 points. I'm in the minority here, it seems like, with Rangers Twitter in not wanting this guy back. Don't get me wrong, the 5-on-5 production did improve when he came here. The goal totals did improve. However, you have Vitaly Kravtsov potentially coming back into the fold. You have Brandon Hoffman, who's coming into the mix. You are not going to have room for Vatrano next year. And if Gallant is serious about Kakko and Lafreniere getting top 6 minutes, where does Vatrano fit in? Because Panarin and Kreider, that's 2 of your top 6 wingers there. You have Lafreniere and Kakko then as your other 2. And Kravtsov and Hoffman, you're not putting either of them on the 4th line. Where are we going here with Vatrano then? And I just know what's going to happen if we re-sign Vatrano. He's going to get top 6 minutes, and then everyone's going to bitch and moan that he's getting top 6 minutes over Lafreniere and Kakko. But everyone wanted him back. If Vatrano stays on a discount and we end up moving Kakko, fine, keep him around. But to me, with the current scenario, if Kakko is on the Rangers next year, I don't see a reason to bring Vatrano back. Don't see a reason at all. Ryan Reeves, 69 games played, 13 points, 5 goals, 8 assists. I don't know if he's back next year. He's under contract, but a $1.7 million cap hit, dumb extension by Chris Drury. He should have gave him league min if he was going to extend him when he did. We'll have to wait and see, but I like Ryan Reeves. I like the presence that he brought to the locker room, but at $1.7 million for someone that might not play every day, what are we doing here? Kevin Rooney, 61 games played, 12 points, 6 goals, 6 assists. Yeah, I think the Kevin Rooney thing is over here. I really don't think he's coming back. I think it's time for the Rangers to look elsewhere in terms of a maybe depth forward or 4th line center, whatever role you want to classify Rooney as. I think it's time to move on from Kevin Rooney there, though. Braden Schneider, 43 games played, 2 goals, 9 assists, 11 points. He came up late in the year. Freaking love the guy. And it sucks that he's not going to be able to take a step further into a bigger role because of Jacob Trouba, unless Trouba gets moved somehow. But either way, Braden Schneider is your 3rd pair right side defenseman. Yeah, really, really good. Really good there. Loved Braden Schneider, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for him. Now, Julian Gotcha. 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points in 49 games played. I think Gotcha is... I think it's wraps from here. I think that for both the team and for him, it's best to move on, and he goes to a bottom-feeding team to get more ice time and to potentially grow into what he was drafted in the 1st round for. I don't know if he'll ever reach that status, but I don't think Julian Gotcha is going to stay. Patrick Nemeth. Oh, boy. 63 games played, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. Yeah, There was a lot of times where he was out because of personal reasons, which I wish nothing but the best for him off the ice, because I'm sure he's a great guy off the ice. But in terms of on the ice, he is a tragedy, and he needs to go. That contract is abysmal, and there is no reason for him to be back next year. None. You have Zach Jones, Niels Lonquist, Matt Robertson all ready to finally get some roles next year. Get this guy the hell out of here. Greg McKegg, I didn't even realize he played that many games. There's no way he played that many games. Wow, I did not know Greg McKegg played 43 games. Yeah, how about we don't do that next year? How about we don't do that next year? I think it's time for the Rangers to find a different depth forward. I don't think that's a secret. 5 points in 43 games. He is one of the dumbest hockey players I've ever seen. He needs to get out of here. Niels Lonquist, 25 games played, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. Will he be back next year? There's a question there. There's certainly a question there, because could he be part of a trade, considering the clog that we have with defensive prospects? It's remained to be seen, but I do think it's unfair to him that he got sent down when he had to play Patrick Nemeth, and he didn't even play bad, all things considered. I think Niels Lonquist still has a bright future. Sammy Blais, 14 games played, 4 assists for 4 points for him. We know what went down there in November. PK Subban slew-footed him. He was close to returning in the playoffs here. If we got to the Copp, he probably would have been back, but obviously that's not the case. I expect him to be back next year and to finally play. Unless we're not going to talk about the stuff that's going on Twitter right now, because it is just ridiculous to me. You could have your opinion on that, but to me, it's just ridiculous. In terms of on the ice, I think Sammy Blais plays a big role next year. I think he's part of a 4th line next year with Mott and Gudra. I think that would be ideal. And yeah, I fully expect him to be ready to go. Johnny Brzezinski, 22 games played, 2 points. I like him a lot as the 13th, 14th forward. I think he should stick around instead of Greg McKegg, instead of Julian Gotcha. I think he needs to be the guy to be like that 13th, 14th forward, because he is far and away better than most of these players. I like Johnny Brzezinski as a depth piece. Justin Braun, 2 points in 8 games played, coming over in the trade deadline. We didn't see a lot of him until the playoffs, and he was far and away better than them. I think Justin Braun, though, is gone, because it's time for the next guy that we're going to talk about, Zach Jones. Time for him to get a full-time role. 2 points in 12 games played. Yeah, how about we try him not playing with a guy like Libor Hajek or Jared Tenorti, Patrick Nemeth? I think Zach Jones needs to finally get a full-time role next year. I really like his play. And to have him quarterback in a power play, maybe instead of Miller, I'd be okay with that. Jared Tenorti, he's under contract next year, so whatever happens, happens with him. Libor Hajek, give it up. Give it up. It's over. Please just give it up. It's over. 17 games too many for this guy this year. No, let's not do this again. Let's not do this again. The trade flopped. Let's move on. Let's stop harping on this and let's move on. He needs to go. He needs to go. Tyler Mott needs to stay. Didn't get any points coming over, but him on the penalty kill. My God, I freaking love Tyler Mott. He, of course, suffered that injury against Pittsburgh. Did come back Game 5 against Pittsburgh in the playoffs. I think you got to re-sign Mott. It's a huge mistake if you let him go. And then Tim Gettinger, 8 games, no points. Whatever. Whatever. We had that outbreak during the year, and then there were times where he just filled in when guys were getting rest down the stretch. No problem with him playing there. For goaltending, we're not going to talk about Keith Kincaid. Igor Shesterkin, need I say more? Hart Trophy finalist. Probably should win it, but probably won't. We'll wait and see. Should be a lock for the Vezina. Not much else to say. Georgiev, yeah, his time is probably done here. His time is not probably, most definitely is done. He's going to want a starting job elsewhere. So all I'll say is good luck to Georgiev wherever he goes. But he had a okay season. He had an okay. In December, he looked good, and when he had to fill in for an injured Igor, but there were times where he looked bad. In terms of the team statistics, though, Rangers finished, of course, with 52 wins on the year, 110 points, and doesn't it just suck that their first 4-game losing streak of the year happened right at the end of the season? Isn't that just great? But overall, what do the Rangers need to improve on? It's no secret that the 5-on-5 play needs to improve, and part of that is in goals for per game. Possession metrics need to improve. Yeah, there's a lot there to be improved. Face-off percentage too. Need I say more? Need I say more? The fact that you're in territory with the Ottawa Senators, Seattle Kraken, who don't even have a number one center, you got to improve there. Yes, the Colorado Avalanche are in the finals, and they were worse than us, but something's got to give there. Something's got to give. Shooting the puck more needs to be a thing. Really needs to be a thing. And overall, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. And I do have a lot more off-season content, like I said, coming. I did ask you guys on Twitter who you guys want as the number 2 center, so go vote on that. That video I'll probably drop that tomorrow, honestly. So stay tuned for that. But that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching my season recap. Overall, I'm not going to complain this season. I mean, we made the Eastern Conference Finals, took the back-to-back champions, soon to maybe be the back-to-back-to-back Stanley Cup champions to 6 games. It is what it is. We had them in a chokehold too, but hopefully we're back next season. Hopefully we're back. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. Turn notifications on, and I will see you in the next one. Let's go, Rangers.